Okay, today we're going to learn about significant figures or Sigfigs, and they're also called significant digits or Sigdigs. And I'm going to give you some rules. I would like you to write them down, and you may pause this at any time if you need to catch up, and then just start playing from there. So first rule is all non-zero numbers are significant. So examples of that would be what you see here. We have 543. None of those are zeros, so all of them are significant, so there are 3 sigfigs. Next number is 6,284. They're all non-zeros, so there's 4 sigfigs there, 4 non-zero numbers. And the last one is just the number 2. There's no zeros, so that 2 is significant. The second rule is that zeros sandwiched between non-zero numbers are significant. So examples, we have 3,091. There is a 0 sandwiched in between the 3 and the 9, so that makes it significant along with the non-zero numbers. So there's a total of 4 sigfigs in that one. Here we have 82,024. Again, a 0 is sandwiched in, that makes it significant. So there's a total of 5 sigfigs. 100,903. Here we have some zeros sandwiched in between non-zero numbers, and that makes them significant. So there's a total of 6 sigfigs. And 5.00603. So that decimal point doesn't affect it. So all of those zeros sandwiched in are significant along with the other numbers, so we have a total of 6 sigfigs. Rule 3. If the number is less than 1, so it's a decimal, any 0 to the left of the first non-zero is not significant. And an example would be here. So here, this number is less than 1. It's a decimal. So all the zeros to the left of the first non-zero number, they're just placeholders. So they're just holding the spot for the rest of the numbers. And so they are not significant. So the only 2 are the 6 and the 2. So there's 2 sigfigs. Here again, this number is less than 1. So the zeros leading up to the first non-zero number are not significant, and every number after that is, so there's 4 sigfigs. And again, another decimal, all the zeros leading up to the first non-zero number are not significant, so the 5, the 2, and the 1 are the only sigfigs in that number. Rule 4. If the number is greater than 1, a 0 after the non-zero number is not significant unless there's a decimal or there is a line above a 0. And some examples of that, we have 83,000, and if you look, there is no decimal following it. There's no line above the 0. So the only 2 numbers that are significant are the 8 and the 3. And again, these zeros are just placeholders. This next number, we do have a 0, 83,000, and our decimal's right there. So that makes everything leading up to that decimal and after it significant. So there would be 5 sigfigs. Here we have the decimal after the 3. So all the numbers leading up to the decimal and after it are significant for a total of 5. In this one, if you notice, there's a line placed above the second 0. So that makes everything leading up to that significant, and whatever is after it, like this 0, is not. So that one has 4 sigfigs. And again, this last one, there's no decimal, no line above the 0. So all the numbers leading up to those zeros are significant. So there's 5 significant figures. Here is another example, and we do have that decimal right there. So that means everything before and after it are significant. Now I do want you to be careful because before, when we had the example of 0.003, these were not significant because the number was less than 1. However, because these numbers are greater than 1, everything would be significant if there's a decimal. Here's 90,000, no decimal, no line above a 0. The 9 is the only one that's significant, so there's one sig fig. And here we have 200 with a decimal, making all of those numbers leading up to it significant. And here again we have another decimal, and so that makes all the numbers leading up to it significant, along with everything that follows for 5 sig figs. And scientific notation is actually pretty easy. So all the numbers in the mantissa are significant, and you're probably saying, what is the mantissa? Well, the mantissa is this set of numbers before you get to the times 10 to whatever power. We call that the mantissa. So there's 1, 2, 3 numbers in the mantissa, giving us 3 sig figs. Here we have 7.100 times 10 to the negative 8th. There's our mantissa. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers, 4 sig figs. And that is all for determining the number of sig figs in a number.